Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, the video game. This game is not only epic, long-winded, immersive, and awesome, it's also a top contender for Game of the Year, if you ask me, and many others too. But as with most big AAA video games lately, Red Dead is not without controversy. Now, before recently, Red Dead's own personal record was almost squeaky clean. The game is excellent, its reputation is near perfect, and the only stories we had heard about it weren't necessarily negatively impacting Red Dead itself, nor its creators, Rockstar Games. For example, our first video about the game was when gaming journalists and SJWs were complaining about the women in the game and their portrayals. Then there was that time a YouTuber, Shiraku, got in trouble for terrorizing the in-game feminists. It was rather hilarious too, but thankfully, besides these stories, there was nothing really bad to report about the actual Red Dead 2 gaming experience. Until now. Recently, Red Dead 2 launched its online mode. It's currently in a beta testing phase, and I have to say, the reactions have been mixed to say the least, and overall really bad and grindy to say the worst. Let me explain. In video gaming, grinding is performing repetitive tasks for gameplay advantage. Many video games use different tactics to implement or reduce the amount of grinding in play. The general use of grinding is for experience points, or to improve the character's level. However, the behavior is sometimes referred to as pushing the bar, farming, or katassing. Now, grinding is a controversial subject among players. Many do not enjoy it, and disparage it as a symptom of poor or uninspired game design. Others do the opposite. They embrace it, claiming that all games feature grinding to some extent, or claim to enjoy the practice of regular grinding personally. Some games, especially free-to-play games, also allow players to bypass grinding by paying additional fees. And this brings us back to Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, which does try to get the player to bypass grinding by paying additional fees. But here's the catch. This is not a free-to-play game. It's a $60 full-price game, but it still does have the same pay-to-not-grind gimmick that its other online free-to-play counterparts have as well. Some even call this model pay to win, since players with more cash can essentially buy their way to the top of the game's system. And this isn't the first time Rockstar has had a problem with pay to win either. Grand Theft Auto Online had the same issues when it first launched, and it had a controversial release as well. Grand Theft Auto Online encouraged grinding too, and it offered loads of options to buy your way out of grinding if you so choose. If you wanted to cough up the bucks, like what they seem to be doing with Red Dead Redemption 2. Looks like Rockstar really didn't learn from its past mistakes, at least according to the fans, but according to them, they're probably thinking they can make another $1 billion off the online mode, like what they did with Grand Theft Auto, and it's all done by adding the one thing they pretty much promised wouldn't be in this game, microtransactions. Yes, pay to win is pretty much just another form of a microtransaction, which is when a video game you own asks you to pay more money within its game system, something which Rockstar nearly promised wouldn't be in this Red Dead game, and I'm sure the Red Dead fans were hoping microtransactions wouldn't take over the game's online scene too, but well, unfortunately, it is here, and it seems to be here to stay for now. For more information on the Red Dead 2 online situation, let's turn to an article from Polygon called Red Dead Online Players Want Rockstar to Change the Game's Economy. Check this out. Red Dead Redemption 2 players started exploring the Wild West together with the launch of Red Dead Online's beta earlier this week, and they were soon met with the cold, harsh reality of the game's economy. Missions and multiplayer modes pay out a pittance, and many of Red Dead Online's purchasable items, upgrades, and customizations cost considerable amounts of money. Some of the more egregious examples players say are customizations for simple items like your character's starter pistol. As noted in a popular trend on Reddit, customizing the basic revolver to be all black cost a whopping 12 gold bars. By some estimates, it takes roughly 8 hours of play in Red Dead Online to earn a single gold bar, which would make a simple looking upgrade a huge time investment. Upgrading a rifle costs nearly twice the number of gold bars. A fully decked out tent could cost 112 gold bars. And while buying horse insurance for your first horse is cheap and essential, insurance for another horse will cost you multiple gold bars. The amount depends on the quality of said horse. Jesus, these are some really out of control prices. If it takes about 8 hours to grind out a single gold bar in the game, that's like a full day's worth of work or more. God damn. Then it costs 12 gold bars to paint your gun all black? That's over 2 weeks of full-time work for a cosmetic change to an in-game weapon. That's outrageous. And you can really tell when you calculate the hours per gold bar like this and turn it into days work. This is actually how Rockstar sees things too. They've calculated the hours per gold and they've set their prices ridiculously high accordingly. They've had half a decade of experience with Grand Theft Auto Online to know that many players will opt to just pay money instead of grinding to the extreme like this, hour upon hour. If it's going to take you a week to grind out paint for a weapon, many would calculate their own time and compare that to how much they would make at a real job. So if you work for a week and say earn $500, a Rockstar Games online player would say, hey, I can just drop $100 into the microtransactions here and save myself yourself a lot of time. Pretty messed up business model though, if you ask me, especially considering the fact that Rockstar could easily adjust this economy at any moment. They could either make gold bars much easier to get or just simply lower the in-game prices to much less costly and over-the-top labels. A click of the mouse could fix this issue for Rockstar, but as of now, they are standing their ground. The ground of forced grinding, pay-to-win, microtransaction, money grubbing. Gold bars are Red Dead Online's premium or rarer currency. You can earn gold nuggets through gameplay, and earning 100 gold nuggets will get you 1 gold bar. Rockstar also plans to sell gold bars for real money at some point for cosmetic items like camp decor or a special style for your weapons, though the company hasn't announced pricing. Beyond gold bars is the matter of dollars and cents. Many players are blanching at the cost of new weapons. A mouse or pistol in Red Dead Online runs $1,000, even though its real-world equivalent was apparently being sold for just $35 during the game's time period. Activities in Red Dead Online pay out a few dollars at a time, and some people have complained of playing for more than a dozen hours but only having a couple $100s to show for it. Wow, sounds like there's clearly something off with this game's online economy. Now, to be fair, it sounds like the gold bars are not for sale yet, but it is clear this was set up and the vision for how things would go after the beta. That's worth noting, but I still think Rockstar has some splaining to do. Rockstar, you have some splaining to do. I mean, their single-player offline portion of this game was fantastic, partly because of the story's historical accuracy and authenticity, but Rockstar kind of throws all that out the window if they turn their game into a grindy, inaccurate money grab 1 month later, really spoiling the public's perception of the whole thing for sure. And if Rockstar doesn't fix this soon, they could ruin the game's glowing reputation going forward. I mean, really? $1,000 for an in-game pistol? That's insane. That just sounds so stupid to me. And I love how this article referenced the actual price of that item in the real-world American history. Really shows how Rockstar veered off from its accurate historical approach for this game. They went off the rails in online mode and opted for a more greedy, contemporary, anachronistic, scumbag approach right now. And if Rockstar doesn't get on this and make things better and do Red Dead Redemption 2's online mode right, they could not only be in trouble reputation-wise, they could also lose lots of money in the real world, actual money. An article from Forbes says Red Dead Online could cost Rockstar $1 billion if it doesn't fix its economy quickly. Sounds pretty serious. And coming from an economic magazine like Forbes, this could be real. Let's take a look and see what's up in this article. Now, the writer spends a lot of time in the beginning recapping the crazy online prices, money grubbing, and the whacked out economy, which we already went over. But if we skip over that, let's get to the end where it says this. The problem Rockstar faces is that if the open beta now draws in millions of players who bought Red Dead Redemption 2, the current state of the economy may end up turning them off from the outset, and that's a serious problem if they're looking to replicate the success of Grand Theft Auto Online, a mode that according to analysts has made Rockstar over $1 billion in revenue since launch through its microtransactions alone, helping to turn GTA 5 into the golden goose it's been since launch, which was in 2013. Starting off on the wrong foot could turn off countless players who are uninterested in a grind, this unrewarding, and what could have been a cash cow will turn into a rotting steer carcass in the desert rather quickly. Rockstar needs to fix its pricing immediately and explain exactly how gold bars are going to be priced in the in-game store so players can judge if that's remotely fair or balanced as well. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and even if some are saying, well, it's just a beta, in this day and age, you will rarely find a beta all that different from final release, as they're mostly used in promotional teases and stress tests. And with something like Red Dead Online, it's not clear exactly how long this beta will go and when it will shift into a full release. There's no end date for this beta in sight, like you see with many other early tests. Yeah, that's something I couldn't figure out either. Trying to find out exactly when this beta will end is next to impossible. I think basically Rockstar said it will go on into early 2019, whatever that means. This confusion about the dates and the gold prices and other factors, it just goes to show we're off to a rocky start here with Red Dead Online. And I also agree with this article's sentiments about beta tests these days. Fallout 76 recently had a supposed beta as well, which really just amounted to an early release for those who pre-order the game ahead of time. Nothing really changed from the beta to release either, and it looks like Rockstar could be following the same path with its beta for Red Dead. Beta tests sure aren't what they used to be. That much is true. I just hope we're all wrong here and Rockstar fixes all of this real soon. I don't necessarily care about them losing money from those potential microtransactions, but I do care about the game Red Dead Redemption 2. This release and this franchise are pretty near and dear to me and many others. Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out with such an amazing single player this year was a real game changer, pun intended. Hell, South Park even did 2 episodes where they referenced it constantly this year. Red Dead has certainly changed the face of gaming, pop culture, and so on in 2018. And I'm totally on board with that too, but I would really hate to see it all tainted and tarnished by Rockstar dumping things up because they got greedy in the game's online mode. So for now, I won't be playing Red Dead Online for the time being. I'll wait it out for now and just play me some Smash Brothers or something else I can trust. If I hear they fix things up though and make it more fun and fair and a good online experience, maybe I'll check it out later. But I'm certainly never going to be spending any money on its microtransactions. No thank you. And let's not forget, you also have to buy a membership with either PlayStation or Xbox in order to play this game online. So for them to try and milk microtransactions on top of that is borderline scandalous. What do you guys think? Is Rockstar overdoing it with the grinding and high prices on Red Dead Online? Have any of you been playing the beta test mode? Did you enjoy it? And do you think this problematic online mode could taint the game's overall image over time? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching this new episode of No Bullshit. We'll see you all next time.